Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Hello everyone, how are you all? I hope all of you are fine. Today we are having lecture number 2 taken from chapter number 2, Senses and Sense Organs, and we are going to discuss two topics today. Number 1, the skin. Number 2, the layers of the skin. Both these topics are on page 15 of your book. Dear students, this is page 15 of your book. I'll explain all the points on this page. You should underline important words and points after my lecture is over. Dear students, I want to divert your attention towards this diagram that is of the human skin. There are some parts of the skin that you must know before starting the topic. These parts are as follows. Number 1, hair. The hair grows from the hair follicles. The red ones, these are the nerve cells which take messages from the skin to the brain. These are the sweat glands which produce sweat. This yellow portion is the fatty tissue. Now let's move towards the topic, the skin. Dear students, what is the skin? The skin is the outer covering of the human body. Different animals have different kind of skin. Some have slippery skin. Some have dry, scaly skin. Some have skin with feathers. Some have skin with fur. Some have skin with scales. It is the largest organ of the body. Why? Because it covers an average area of 1.8 square meters. Most important thing about the skin is that it is the sense organ, like the ear, eye, tongue. Now, what are the functions of the skin? As it is the outer covering of the skin, it protects the internal structures underneath. Dear students, as you know that our environment is full of germs. There are germs in water, in air, everywhere. So the skin, which is the outer covering of the body, it keeps out the germs from entering the body to a great extent. It insulates the body. How? The skin has fats underneath it which insulates the body from heat and cold. It controls the temperature through blood vessels present in it and also through sweating. This is the type of a thermostat for you. When we are out in the cold weather, our skin triggers shivering, so the blood vessels will contract and keep us as warm as possible. And in hot weather, due to sweating, cooling effect is produced. Skin is responsible for producing vitamin D due to the exposure to sunlight. The skin absorbs ultraviolet light and produces vitamin D, which is very important for our bones. Last but not the least, it works as a sense organ of touch, pain, temperature, coldness, heat, pressure, etc. Now let's move towards the next topic. The composition of the skin means the layers of the skin. The skin has 3 layers. In our book, 2 layers are mentioned, but you must know about the 3rd layer also. The 3 layers of the skin are epidermis, dermis, and hypodermis. Dear students, over here, you must know a very important term related to the skin. That is the word derm or dermis. Derm means skin. Epi means outside. So the outermost layer of the skin is called the epidermis. It acts like a waterproof barrier. What is a waterproof barrier? Barrier means a type of hindrance. It protects our body from the entry of the water inside the body. It also creates a body tone. What is the tone? Tone means complexion. We have different type of complexion. For example, some people have fair complexion, fair tone, some have dark, etc. The second layer is the dermis. Where is the dermis? It lies beneath the epidermis. What does it contain? It contains the connective tissue. Remember, connective tissue is one of the type of specialized tissues present in your body. The hair follicles, as I have told you, hair grows from it, and the sweat glands which produce the sweat. The third layer is the hypodermis. It is also called subcutaneous tissue. Subcutaneous means the tissue which is deepest or the innermost layer of the skin. It is generally made up of the fats and the connective tissue. This was all about the layers of the skin. Some more information about the epidermis. Epidermis is made up of dead flattened cells. And why dead? Because there are all the cells in the body are not alive. There are some cells in a body which are dead. For example, the cells of your nails are dead. For example, the upper layer of the skin, that is the epidermis, they are made up of the dead cells. These dead cells are rubbed off and new cells take their place from the living layers beneath. And for your surprise, it is a fact that about 20 kg of dead skin is shed by an average adult in a lifetime. Okay. Now about the dermis. Dermis, most important part of the skin, because it contains some of the important parts of the skin that are the sweat glands, the oil glands, the blood vessels, etc. And most important is that they have nerves over here which sends the messages from the skin to the brain. And what about the hypodermis? It is the part which helps in the insulation, which insulates your body against coldness and hotness. These are the layers of the skin. The upper layer is the epidermis, then this layer is called the dermis, and the lower layer is the subcutaneous or the hypodermis. Some more information about the skin layers. The thinnest layer is the epidermis, and as I have told you that it generally consists of the dead cells. So dead cells are shed off and new cells arises, and their lifespan is about 15 to 30 days. Then the dermis, which contains all the important parts like the blood vessels and the nerve cells and the sweat glands. So that is why they are highly vascular. The subcutaneous tissue, it consists of the fatty tissues, and they are also acting as a shock absorber. Do you know what is a shock absorber? It cushions our inside organs from knocks, strains, etc. And it is about 3 centimeter thick. Now, the most important thing about the skin, as I have told you before, that it is one of the sense organ. So it detects the sense of, it is a sense detector of heat, pressure, touch, temperature like hotness and coldness. See, skin senses heat or cold. It is the sense organ of touch. It can also detect pain and also pressure. Dear students, this was all about the skin and its layer. Bye bye, take care, see you again.